Today we are going to discuss about pupillary light reflex. As we know, the pupillary light reflex is a reflex that controls the diameter of the pupil in response to the intensity of light that falls on the retinal ganglion cells, thereby assisting in adaptation of vision to various level of lightness or darkness. Pupillary light reflex is a brainstem reflex. A greater intensity of light constricts the pupil, which is known as miosis, thereby allowing less light to enter into the eye. There are three pupillary reflexes: direct light reflex, consensual light reflex, or indirect light reflex. Swinging flashlight reflex. Pupillary light reflex, a useful diagnostic tool for assessing the integrity of sensory motor function of eye. In emergency, it is used to assess brainstem function. Abnormal pupillary reflex can be found in optic nerve injury, oculomotor nerve damage, brainstem lesion, or brainstem death, or any lesion of visual pathway. Now coming to the procedure of pupillary light reflex. The test is done in a room with dim light. It is asked the patient to fix his eyes on a distant target. With a pen light, light is shown on the right eye from the right temporal side and on the left eye from the left temporal side of the eye. At the same time, observe the pupil to determine whether the pupil is constricted or not in response to the light. During the procedure, don't stand in front of the patient as the patient will accommodate to focus on you, which may cause a false interpretation. Normally, there should be a brisk, simultaneous or equal response of both pupils in response to light. In the first photograph, showing the size of the pupil of both eyes in dim light. Second photograph, showing constricted pupil of both eyes after shining of light on the eyes. It is known as direct light reflex. In third photograph, showing pen light on one eye and other eye is obstructed with palm from light. Yet the pupil is constricting. It is known as consensual light reflex. Now about the neural pathway of pupillary light reflex. On each side has an efferent limb and two efferent limbs. One efferent limb for ipsilateral side and one efferent limb for contralateral side. The efferent limb starts from ganglion cell of retina, which projects fiber through the optic nerve to ipsilateral pretectal nucleus. The efferent motor output starts from pretectal nucleus, which projects cross and uncrossed fiber to ipsilateral and contralateral Edinger-Westphal nucleus. Each Edinger-Westphal nucleus gives rise to preganglionic parasympathetic fibers, which exit with oculomotor nerve and synapse with postganglionic parasympathetic neurons in the ciliary ganglion, which innervate ciliary sphincter. The ipsilateral efferent limb transmits nerve signal for direct light reflex of the ipsilateral pupil, and contralateral efferent limb causes consensual light reflex of the contralateral pupil. This is the schematic diagram of neural pathway of pupillary light reflex. Here showing right efferent temporal fiber is reached to ipsilateral pretectum and nasal fiber is reached to contralateral pretectum. From the pretectal nucleus, fibers have cross and uncrossed fiber to ipsilateral and contralateral Edinger-Westphal nucleus. Preganglionic parasympathetic fibers is started from Edinger-Westphal nucleus, and postganglionic fibers of ciliary ganglion innervate ciliary sphincter of both eyes. Through swinging flashlight test compares direct and consensual responses of each eye. It helps to identify relative apparent pupillary defect. It is done in dim light room. The patient is asked to gaze into distant target. The examiner swings the beam of pen light back and forth from one pupil to other pupil and observe the size of the pupil and reaction. Normally, illuminated pupil promptly become constricted and opposite pupil also constrict consensually. The photograph showing light is swung from one eye to another. The pupillary size is changed with the light on both eyes. These are all about pupillary light reflex. Thank you.